In the quiet suburbs of Cedar Valley, a small American town nestled between wooded hills and gentle streams, 16-year-old Ethan Moore lived a life most people overlooked. His father, James Moore, worked as the janitor at Cedar Valley High School. Every day before sunrise, James would quietly mop the hallways, scrub the bathrooms, and make sure the school was spotless before students arrived. He never missed a day, rain or snow. And every day, Ethan watched his dad come home with sore arms and tired eyes, but never once complaining. Ethan had grown used to the stares. The whispers. The way kids would snicker, "That's the janitor's kid," as he passed by. He didn't have the best clothes or the latest phone. He sat alone at lunch, his textbooks always secondhand, his backpack patched at the seams. But what he lacked in money, he made up for in heart. Unknown to most, Ethan had dreams bigger than Cedar Valley. He wanted to become a paramedic. He had read every first aid book in the local library, volunteered at a nearby clinic on weekends, and watched every documentary on emergency medicine he could find. But none of that seemed to matter to the world. He was just the janitor's son. Principal Walter Grayson was a man of reputation. In his mid-50s, always dressed sharply, he was respected, sometimes feared, by students. He believed in discipline, rules, and above all, appearances. To him, the idea of a janitor's son having any influence in his school was laughable. In fact, Mr. Grayson had once denied Ethan's request to join the school's emergency medical club, claiming, "It's not for students like you." Those words had crushed Ethan, but he kept going. He studied harder. Practiced CPR on a dummy he built from old pillows. And always helped his dad clean the school when needed. It was an unusually hot Friday in June. The school was buzzing with excitement for the upcoming summer break. The gymnasium was being decorated for the senior graduation party. Ethan had stayed late, helping his father clear trash near the auditorium. Suddenly, from inside the gym, a loud crash echoed. Ethan rushed in and found Principal Grayson collapsed on the floor, clutching his chest, gasping for air. Teachers screamed. Students froze. Someone shouted, "He's having a heart attack." Panic erupted. No one knew what to do. But Ethan did. He ran to the principal's side, checked his pulse, and immediately began CPR. "Call 911, he shouted to a teacher. "And get the AED. As students stood around helpless, Ethan kept compressing, sweat pouring down his face, counting every beat, just like he'd practiced 100 times alone in his room. His arms ached, but he didn't stop. Finally, someone brought the AED. Ethan tore open the kit, attached the pads, and administered the shock. The principal's body jolted. And then, he breathed. Paramedics arrived minutes later. They were stunned. "Who did this?" one asked. "That kid," someone whispered. "The janitor's son." Principal Grayson survived. Doctors said if not for Ethan's quick action, he wouldn't have made it. News spread like wildfire. Local newspapers wrote, "High school janitor's son saves principal's life." A reporter came to the house. The mayor invited Ethan for a medal ceremony. But the biggest change came from Mr. Grayson himself. When he returned to school weeks later, thinner and visibly shaken, he asked Ethan to meet him in his office. For the first time, the stern principal stood up, walked around his desk, and hugged the boy. "I judged you," he said quietly. "But you saved my life. I'll never forget that." He handed Ethan a letter. It was a recommendation for a scholarship to one of the best EMT training programs in the state. Fully funded. "Consider this a very small thank you," Mr. Grayson added, tears in his eyes. Years later, Ethan stood outside St. Jude's Emergency Medical Institute, wearing a clean white paramedic uniform. His badge read, EMT Ethan Moore. His father, now retired, stood proudly beside him, tears in his eyes. "I'm so proud of you, son. Ethan smiled, looking up at the sky. We made it, Dad. From janitor's closet to saving lives. He never forgot where he came from. And neither did the world. Because sometimes, the boy you ignore in the hallway, is the one who might one day save your life.